Hey guys, up next we are going to be reviewing Project Runway Junior Season 2, Episode 7. The kids are going to be designing for the Milan runway. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, welcome to AfterBuzz TV. Today we are going to be reviewing Project Runway Junior Season 2, Episode 7, High-End Italian Fashion.
Yes.
I'm your host, Michelle Uberreste, and with me I have...
co-host Carmen Cameron. Good morning, everybody.
And where can everybody find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at Carmen Cameron, or you can find me on Facebook at Carmen Cameron.
You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Uberreste.
Yes.
No guests today, but we have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do. Yes, I was so excited to see Chelsea Ma this week, though.
I know.
I was like, I know her. I was so excited.
She was so much fun.
She was so much fun, and she's so cute.
I wish we had some more of the juniors in our area that we could have on the show, but no one is here.
I know, and it's not like they just hop on planes at
I know
14, you know?
They're like in school. I always forget.
Exactly.
So last week Chelsea, she's like, yeah, I gotta go. I was like, whoa, hang out. She's
Right.
like, oh yeah, you gotta go to school. Okay.
Right. You know, but she shined really good this week.
Yeah,
she did her thing this week.
Right on.
Yeah.
I feel like the challenges for the juniors are like so much more cool than
They are.
the regular Project Runway.
They aren't just scrambling to find the closest scraps on every episode.
I know. I mean, I feel like the challenges are pretty up there, like pretty challenging.
Yes.
This week we actually have the designers come out to the runway.
Yes.
And there's a bunch of Italian food and stuff like that. Tim comes in and they introduce Brittany DeLoach from Carrabba's Italian Grill.
Yes. Carrabba's is really good. We have a Carrabba's in Baltimore.
Do you? I've never been there.
It's good. It's really good
I love
Italian
Italian food.
Yeah, their pasta is really good. It's really fresh. So
I feel like I'm going to have to get some Italian food after this.
Yeah, we have to go to Carrabba's now. Yeah.
I wonder if we have one in LA.
Let's Google.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, they're using Carrabba's as the inspiration for the designers. They need to design a high-end look that could be worthy of Milan Fashion Week.
Yes.
So kind of inspired by Italy and the fashion.
Yeah, which means these kids had to study.
Right.
Yeah, because I didn't know what Milan or where Milan was at 13, 14.
Oh, no.
You know?
No.
What it was all about.
They seem to know a little bit, though.
Right.
I feel like these kids are like a lot more ahead of when we were that age. So.
Right.
But I mean, Italy is really kind of the center of the fashion world.
Yes.
Very high fashion.
I can't wait to go and just shop for tons of Prada.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Just want all the Prada from Italy.
Right on. So they get a day, which is always too short. 30 minutes to sketch, and then they go to mood for 30 minutes, but they do get $300.
Right.
And actually, one of the designers ends up overspending like 400 something.
Right. And he's like, well, what do I put back?
Everyone's like, that's a little overshooting. But,
right.
I mean, sometimes you get into mood and you're like just thinking about what you need. You're not thinking about how much you're spending. It is really difficult to...
That's how it is. That's the struggle with any creative person when you walk into like a fabric store, a Michael's, an arts and crafts. It's like you lose your mind.
Yeah.
You're all over the place. You have this whole cart. You go in like, I'm only spending $20. I'm getting my glue, I'm getting my tape, and I'm leaving. And then you leave with like 10,000 things. I know the struggle.
I always feel like I want to get too much in case I screw something up, you know? So I always get extra, and then it costs extra, and then I have extra left over, and you have to put that in the budget too.
Oh no, I'm completely distracted. I leave with like 5 new designs, 5 new things to do that I want to start immediately, so I'm trying to tone that down though. We'll get there.
I mean, sometimes you get inspired by the fabric when you walk in there. You may sketch or whatever, but sometimes you see something and it gives you more ideas.
It's very true.
So, I mean, I feel like that's true for me. I like to work with textures and not necessarily prints, but like shapes or different textures. Texture is a big thing for me, but to me that's also kind of like a version of a print. But that can lend itself to a design and really, you know,
absolutely.
Even just the structure of, you know, the fabric. Is it stiff? Is it, you know, drapey?
Absolutely.
What is it going to lend itself to? So I feel like, and especially like on Project Runway, you can easily get designer's block.
Exactly.
So I feel like mood,
so much pressure.
Yeah.
It's so little time.
Yeah. So you're not, and you're trying to like, you kind of make a list of like what you think you need, because you also have to get matching thread, zippers, buttons, closures, anything you need, binding, fusing, anything like that. So if you forget something, they don't provide that extra stuff for you in the workroom.
Wow. So it's just.
So if you don't have a zipper, you're on your own.
You got to be sewing her in.
Maybe borrow one, but if you have like, oh, I'm making a pink dress and nobody has pink zippers, you're, you know, so you usually make a list when you go into mood. Ooh. And it's very difficult to take.
What is that? I think it's the fashion god.
It's very difficult to take your list and go shopping, and then also, you know, be pricing all this stuff out in your head plus tax. So the winner of this challenge is going to get a trip to Italy, which is unprecedented. I think that would be exciting just for adults.
Right.
You know. So, and the kids are like losing their minds.
Right.
In their confessionals. I wonder like what the details are like. Do you get to go for a week? Is it like everything's paid, like your hotel, you get to bring your mom, like what, you know?
I'm sure you get to bring your mom.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you do, but like I'm just curious like what that all entails.
I want to know where they're staying. I want to know the whole nine.
I've never been to Italy. Have you been to Italy?
I've never been to Italy, and I will go to Italy because my father is Italian.
Oh.
So I will go to Italy sooner or later.
Right on.
But I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what we did get to see this week? We got to see the Dream Machine get work.
I know. I wrote that down too. Yes. I was like finally so excited that someone's going to use this.
Like somebody used it, and it's so in trend right now that it only makes sense.
Right. Exactly. I think they need to like, I don't know, if it was me, I would be so taking advantage of that, because really you can make your own print, your own design, like something you can't find it in Mood. You want like you know, I think Erin from the previous season did bananas and stuff. You can't find that print. That's a custom print. Yeah. So, and it's way more high quality than, you know, painting it on or
it's just unique. You get to create, you get to bring your very own thing to life. Yeah. Which is really unique. It's a really unique what's the word I'm looking for? It's a really unique aspect of design, to create your own and not have to use a previously made pattern or a previously made print. It really gives your stuff a unique edge. Stuff
like that is so cool to have as a resource, just to like, even like for branding or just to have at your disposal. Like that kind of stuff's really expensive, you know? Like when I was working in the industry, when I was working for someone else, you kind of have all these things at your disposal. Like you can make, you know, your own hardware, or you can have things printed, and it's so easy because you're working for a big company and they can do it in bulk. Now that I'm designing on my own, I can't afford to do like such high volume. I don't have all those things available to me. So I feel like it's something you should take advantage of when you have the opportunity.
Certainly,
you know?
Listen, I wish I had some sort of magic crystal embellishing machine right now that can help me. Like, I am doing the impossible right now. It's just like so detail oriented. It takes so much time, and you think about the time that it takes to put into a garment. Sometimes it takes weeks just for one thing. So to try to put that quality into a piece in a day and shop with $300 and get it done and sketch it, it's just like anxiety waiting to happen.
I know. These kids are doing so well. Like usually in regular Project Runway, you start to see the contestants get really weary.
Right.
I don't feel like it's even hit the kids yet.
I think it's hitting them now in the critiques at the end, because now we get to see how week after week the critiques are kind of breaking them down and making them question who they are.
I think that's more of like a mental thing, though. Not so, we don't see them so tired, but maybe it's their journey through this whole thing, trying to find themselves, and because we do see a couple designers that struggle with their identities this week.
Right.
And I think that's a totally different problem to have, but I think that can be good, because if you start to question yourself, you can find, you know, that you can broaden your horizons too.
Definitely.
So, and back to the Dream Machine, I think that's part of the prize package too. From Brother, they get a whole sewing studio and a Dream Machine. So whoever gets to win that. And then we have a couple of mishaps in the workroom. Izzy gets oil on her dress.
Yes. How do you get out oil? Whatever she used to get out oil, the only thing I know is the old school trick where you just put baby powder on it or flour on it.
Oh, and it kind of absorbs
it, and you can kind of scrape it off. But then you have flour or powder all over your garment, so that's not cool.
I think she used one of those like magic stain pens or something. I don't know if it has detergent. On oil? I guess.
Shout out to
whoever made that.
I need to call in and find out what that was. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, man.
And then we see a little cleavage happening.
Oh, yeah. And Tyler's using tape, which we know is a big no-no on Project Runway.
Right, okay. So
using
no tape. It's like cheating.
I don't even know where he got
stitch.
tape from. We weren't allowed to have tape.
Can you do like liquid stitch or like iron stitch or any of that? Okay.
No stitch witchery, hem tape, none of that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, they would confiscate it if we had it.
Right, okay.
Yep.
Like no cheating, basically.
Yes, I'm like, where did you even get tape? I don't know. But it didn't work anyway.
Right.
So, was there anything else that you noticed in the workroom?
I noticed that, remember the help thing we were talking about?
Yeah.
Do you have an extra couple of minutes? Can you come help me? We got to see that kind of camaraderie happen where someone was falling short on the design.
Yeah.
Right, Tyler was falling short on his design, and he called a friend over, hey, do you mind helping me? And they said, sure, and he came right over. So I love seeing that. But
what did they even do? Because I didn't see it change from...
I think they sewed it together to make sure that, since they couldn't tape her boobs in,
I mean, to me, the easy... Yeah.
What's the politically correct way to say it? They taped her cleavage back.
Right.
That was wrong. That was against the rules.
Even so, if it was the same as it was like, this kid is like 17, I believe.
Right.
And she's got like this deep V almost to her navel. It was vulgar. I don't know if I don't think he meant it to be that way, and he was kind of freaking out. But
yeah, I think that's a lack of experience.
Right.
Yeah.
But Tyler's pretty experienced, but I don't know. It's
like life experience. Like maybe you know how to make these garments, but do you know where to make them? Like where they should be worn, or when the appropriate time to show that much body.
To me, it was like an easy fix would be to just make an easy like camisole and put it under to cover, or even just like a dickie at that point. Like you just cut out a piece of fabric and you just like tack it on.
Something. I thought that he was gonna have like throw some like a scarf down, like a wrap.
That would even that. I mean, you just cut a strip of fabric and you make it a scarf. Like anything. There are so many things you could do. I think he was just married to the shape of it or something, and he couldn't figure out. But to me, that would be just fill it in.
But then secretly, they're like, when they're judging it after the runway show, they're like, I will wear it though.
Yeah.
They're like, I will wear it, but it's not right for this.
I know.
And so that was cute. This is another thing I noticed about the workroom. When you get advice from Tim, just take it. Just take it.
Most of the time. Yeah, most of the time, yeah.
If he's telling you, if he's repeating what he repeated to you last week, do something different. Like,
yeah. So Cardi, I think, was struggling, and she, she is in her critique with Tim, and he's just like, this is just nothing. There's no design, and she's kind of like confused, and she didn't really add anything to it. She just kind of kept on that path, and I think Tim is there to try to encourage you to like do the best you can. So
he's trying to destroy her box. He wants her to get out of this box.
Yeah.
That's why he keeps flipping things inside out and showing her a different angle
perspective
of her own work.
Right.
Yeah, like, this is you. Like, you did this. Like, just try to take a different look at it. Like, try to accept it as being okay. Like, it was not wrong.
Yeah.
You know, like give it a try. Because I think it would have been cool if she let the top look kind of tie-dye, almost like it was a mistake, almost like the paint dripped from the top down into the bottom, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like her design aesthetic is just too basic. I hate using that word, but it's pretty, and it's like
it's pretty accurate though.
But it's just kind of basic, you know. So I feel like in a competition like this, there's no wow factors. Like, yeah, she could go work for some company and make wearable stuff, but
just like what they say, like she's like the dressmaker.
Yeah.
And then those little, I felt so bad. I said, oh, baby. She put those couple of the rhinestones on it.
But it was too sparse, you know?
I thought it was a mistake. I thought she had left pins in the dress.
Oh, yeah. I could see that.
On the runway, I was like, are those pins?
Yeah. And I feel like last week was the same. It was kind of a basic dress. And then it wasn't really her idea to put the seams on the outside. It was Tim's and then the client, and she just kind of went along with it. And I feel like she was, you know, was safe because of that. But it wasn't really, I don't feel like it was her idea or her design.
Like yeah. Like she got a save last week.
Right.
She definitely got a save last week. I wish she would have listened this week, but she'll learn in retrospect. You know, or she'll be one badass dressmaker.
I mean, yeah, and her designs are fine. Cool. They're fine. They're just more like watered down. They're more like mainstream, you know, and you know, everybody kept trying to push her the entire time. Maybe she's just one of those designers that does mainstream stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all. There are more mainstream people in the world than totally abstract.
You'll make way more money.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, for something like this, a competition where you're, you know, trying to make outstanding garments, maybe it just wasn't her wheelhouse. I don't know. I really liked Cartier in the beginning. I felt like she had a lot of potential, and then kind of as we went on, I was like, okay, I don't really see, I don't even see like a point of view really, you know, but.
I don't either. I think she knows how to make dresses. I think at home she knows how to like follow a pattern or make a pattern and do an excellent job. And now she's being forced into a creative's box.
Right.
And it's a little different when you're becoming a creative in a field. And not that it can't happen, but it's just a little different. It takes a lot more shaking up your brain waves and kind of retraining them to do something new. And that's not easy all the time, you know?
Well, I mean, in the industry, you have different, you know, roles, too. Designers, yes, they do know how to do the technical side, but
I can't sew.
Right, and then you also have, you know, sewers, you have technical designers, you have pattern makers.
Right.
You're not always doing all of that technical stuff, but you can still be in a creative industry.
Right.
That's very mathematical and, you know, more on the analytical side of your brain. So, I mean, I feel like it's hard to find someone who's both artistic and logical. So that's why, you know, they split up kind of those roles in the industry, but you kind of have to know how it works, but
yeah. I was really happy for Chelsea this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she did really
She was
good.
the winner of our challenge.
Yes, when I first saw the dress, I was like, okay, let's see kangaroo pouch on the side, okay, cargo-y, okay, let's see. But when it came out on the runway, I was like, yes, Chelsea,
yeah.
Like it
I
was
think hers
so awesome.
was the most innovative.
Yes, and she has a good point of view. Like she is a strong little mama.
I know.
That has this strong edge to her designs.
I'm so excited she gets to go to Italy.
Right.
We're gonna have to ask her like when she's going and ask her all about it.
We'll have to interview her
she
when
can
she
come
gets
back and like tell us all about her Italy, you know, trip.
Absolutely.
Cool. So why don't we like take a look at some of the final looks?
Yes.
And break it down. This is actually Cartier's. So when this first came out, I kind of thought like Easter dress, you know? I didn't even see the rhinestones till later when they kind of closed up, but the top is kind of, I was excited about the top in the workroom because it kind of looked very painterly and organic, and then the bottom just kind of looks like a pastel rainbow, and it's just kind of like, you know, a gathered skirt. There's not a lot of design infused into it, and the colors are just really juvenile to me.
Right. These are her attempts. These are her attempts to step out of her box. I'm not mad at the idea. I wish that you would have flipped the top inside out because it would have just made it so funky. Yeah. It would have taken it up so many notches. Or even making a separate halter kind of top. Maybe with like paint splashed on, I don't know. Maybe with paint splashed and then maybe the splashes could look like they were just trickling down into the skirt. Maybe it would have given it a different edge. But it was just not enough couture to bring her out of the, like, square box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's still a square dress, even with the uniqueness.
Excuse me.
Yeah. It's
yeah, I feel like there wasn't anything super funky about it. Like there was not an interesting drape or something, you know, interesting on the top too.
But
let's move on to the next look.
Sorry, but
so this was Chelsea. It's a little dark in the screen, but basically she took kind of a dark pinstripe. She kind of created this dress with all these cargo pockets on it. Excuse me.
It's everything.
And then I liked the lining was kind of a Chinese brocade. I thought that was really unexpected.
And I like how one of the judges was kind of like, I hated the inside, it was too shiny, and then Kelly is like, no, actually it's genius. It picked up on the gold buttons.
Yeah, it does.
I love how supportive she is of these kids. Like, I love it. Like,
well, I think it also adds a contrast to it because of the dark. It's very dark. The whole dress is very dark. The pockets are dark. I do wish there would have been a little more contrast, just because on the screen it's a little dark. Like, you don't really even see the pinstripes in the pockets till it kind of closes up on the camera. But
I think when you think of like Europe, you think of Paris and Italy, you think of like Rome, romantic. I think that the inside was like the romantic side to the harshness. Like, she brought the romance out of it. Like, I can't forget it's Milan, it's Italy. Like, I have to have a sense of elegance somewhere in there.
Well, and the off-shoulder detail, strapless. I mean, it's just kind of, it was like the most interesting thing on the runway. And honestly, her inspiration was kind of weird. She's like, I thought of Swiss cheese, and then I thought of Swiss Army, and then, but it doesn't. To me, it doesn't matter. It worked because it was something interesting.
Right.
You know, honestly, like, when I think of Italy, this is not what I think of Italian fashion.
Right.
I was thinking more like Chris's design would be like the most Italian look that would belong there. But you also have to think, like, we don't want something we've seen.
Right.
We want to be kind of excited.
Right.
And I feel like this is just an interesting mix of fabrics and an interesting kind of silhouette mixed with the details. So, I mean, I think it was a well-deserved win.
Yes, and you can wear it.
I want to wear it.
You can wear it.
I would totally wear this.
That's the best thing about it. It's something that you can put on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so go ahead, Chelsea Ma.
Let's take another look at the next look.
Loved it.
So this is Chris.
Go,
and
Chris.
you know, Chris is kind of known for his weird pattern mixing. This is like Chris stepping it up to the next level of pattern mixing, because this is like tasteful.
It's very
okay. I love his like usual funky stuff, but this is really expensive to me.
Right.
He kind of took this like print of like a church with all the arches and the stained glass windows and everything. He kind of made these wide leg pants, and then the top is kind of the print with a mesh kind of over it. It's not like a cheap mesh though. It's kind of like an open
I was trying to figure out if that was like mesh or if it was some sort of like
lace, maybe
silver,
like an open.
Was it like, I couldn't tell if it was printed or if it was holes in it.
I think it was holes in it over the church print.
Okay.
Yeah. And he matched up all the prints and placed them very strategically.
Oh, now I get it.
Yeah. And I thought it looked great on the model's darker skin. Everything's kind of white and blue. It's very striking.
I loved it.
I loved it.
It was
too.
classy. Like, I want to put this on and go on like a lunch date, or like a brunch date.
Oh yeah.
In Milan. So if anyone's listening,
take me to Milan.
Can we go to lunch and can I wear this outfit in Milan? Thanks.
Oh, by the way, you guys, you can actually bid on the outfits. I'm not sure exactly what the link is, but you can, I think it's on eBay, but I'm sure if you just Google like Project Runway Junior bid on the outfits, every week they put up the outfits from the last week. So
you can bid on them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So this could be yours.
That's awesome.
I think Chris was definitely like the runner-up for this. I was really excited. I think this was like so much more tasteful and less funky. I think the funky's good, but like I think it's really good that he can show a range and still kind of stay within his aesthetic.
Exactly.
And do what he does well.
Yep.
And it's still like very fun. Not in a juvenile way, but
it's nice.
I think it's good.
Yeah, it's nice.
And then
it's functional.
Right. And I think it would be comfortable too.
Exactly.
It's like glamorous but comfortable.
Exactly.
Next look we have Hawa.
I love those shorts.
I love this when this came out, and the judges were kind of hating on it.
They got all particular about her structure, but we know the deal. Like, we know it's an hour. Well, I mean, a day, I'm sorry, which feels like an hour.
But the shorts were so cool.
So cool.
And she's always got
contrast
color.
of yellow, yes. Like, her color choices are really nice. I think there's just, everybody needs a little bit of opposition.
Yeah. I think so. But so I mean, you can tell this is her.
Yeah.
And no, it isn't like dressy, but I think it's fashion, and I think you could see it in Italy.
And it's still modest. Like the short is at a perfect length. The still a high neck is still covered, but she's still fashionable. So I love her. I love Owa's perspective.
I love on the shorts just the bright color, and then she's kind of got this black and white printed pieces, strips that are sticking out from the short. To me, that's like fashion. You didn't just slap it on there.
Like layered and
it's like got shape and
right. But then we see
depth.
In her judgment, she kind of starts doubting herself, like, who am I? Like every week I'm trying
I don't know why. She's one of the probably most distinguished designers.
It's that pressure though. Like I know. Anytime you're used to being told you're great and then you just come into like a rain of criticism, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, especially if you're a kid. Like these adults are, from the fashion industry are like critiquing your looks.
And they use the words like I hate. Use a word like I hate.
I don't know. I don't understand.
Kill me. I would be so crushed.
This was so cute. And then she was actually the only one that used the dream machine.
Right.
So she puts the little leaves that she kind of designed around the jacket. I mean, this is really like current, I think.
Right. If you're watching and doing your thing, girl, don't doubt yourself.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, this is really like her signature. It's colorful but modest. I mean, those shorts are so cool. Like the shape of them. I feel like it's really hard to find because I don't like them too short.
I want those shorts.
And I'm really hippie, so I don't like them too tight. So I mean, this is just really flattering on anybody.
I like the white suspenders. Are those suspenders?
Yeah.
That was a cute pop-up.
That
was a cute. She's fashionable.
Was a cool detail. Yeah, exactly.
Like I think that's the difference between her and Mia names. The young lady who went home.
Cardi.
Yeah. Like there's a sense of style with this outfit. It's not just like I made a garment and the model has to make it what it is. Like this is styled.
And even if you hadn't seen the rest of the show, you would know when you saw this come out on the runway that it was Hua's design.
Because every designer isn't a stylist either.
Right, that's true.
Like I've seen some really cool outfits that took a lot of work to make, and they still weren't very stylish or like innovative. They were kind of like just intricate.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like groundbreaking or like super exciting,
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know what the judges were like hating on Hua's look, but whatever. I thought it was pretty high fashion. Our next look. This was Izzy.
I liked it way better than I thought I would.
I liked it too, and I like it better from far away because up close it does look crafty.
It looks super crafty.
But I feel like the placement and how she kind of wove them together, these little pieces, they look like little bits of paper, kind of like almost construction paper, but really she took these little pieces of fabric, different colors, and kind of slapped them on this dress. But the placement and, the technique looks very kind of artistic and painterly.
It does.
Which is very Italian. I feel like this isn't the type of, cliche Italian glamour that you would think of if you were given this challenge. But I think it was really interesting, and she really did something creative and kind of stepped above, just, hi, I made a jacket and pants or shorts or a dress. It was like, she really thought, what kind of technique can I come up with? And it's always risky to do these crafty things because usually you get called out, oh, it looks DIY, it looks homemade. But I think the judges liked it.
Yeah, they did like it. And they know that she took a risk. They definitely let her know, like, you took a risk. I think they dropped enough hints, like, don't get too crafty. Don't get too crafty. That's all I heard.
But she also kept, like, a color story going on. Like, in the back it's blue, and in the front, she's mixing these, white, and she's got
unique.
It's definitely unique. And I think
bold.
It's flattering.
Yeah,
it's bold, for sure.
It's bold because she didn't rely on like we said, like a print, or she didn't rely on something that was already created to give her dress, like, a special aesthetic. Like, she created it. She took the time.
I can't believe she did all of these, take these little pieces and sew them all together in this time constraint, because it really does look like a couture piece, the way that she kind of put it together. So,
if I could give one critique, something about the hemlines, like the straight in the back and the triangle in the front.
Yeah.
Something about that is catching my eye, and maybe not a good way, but it looks beautiful from the back.
I think that was the only thing I noticed too. I like the shape of the kind of pointy hem in the front, but then on the and I like the way it looks in the back where it's kind of asymmetrical, but when they meet on the sides, it's like it just stops. So it's not really integrated, but I mean, other than that, it was good. But yeah, I think there was something that needed to be kind of resolved on that side seam that wasn't matching up, but because I do like the shape in the front when you see the red and the white, and I like the point
and that like A-line kind of thing she has going on. I love it.
Absolutely, I just love the colors of it.
Yo, I love this when it came down.
This was Molly's.
I just knew this was gonna win.
I thought that it would too. And to me this looked more like Italian. She's got the expensive lace and it's very monochrome and there's just some kind of glitter but not in your face.
Right.
And I thought it was very tasteful and kind of that elegance of Italy. And then she always does these bell bottoms, which I personally love. I feel like in the photo,
her model looks short.
The photo, the photo looks a little shrunken,
okay.
or something, or maybe it's just a bad angle. I don't know, but
when it came out, I thought it was so beautiful. It looked so finished, and it looked. I just
especially
loved
up close.
Yeah,
you could see the detail of the lace and everything. Yeah, I thought it was really elegant.
The difference in the textures of the fabrics, like they complemented each other really well.
I thought this was going to be on top.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
I was very surprised that it wasn't.
Yeah, I was confused. But she was safe. And she just like ran right off the runway. She's like, I'm safe, bye.
I think it was so good that they just let her be safe. Like, we can't even, what are we going to say? Like, we just send her to the back. Like, she's good. She's cool. Send her back.
It is so nerve-wracking. You don't even know if you're on top or bottom, at that point when they're like, okay, so-and-so's safe. You're still on the runway. Even if you have something amazing, like, you don't know.
Right, because Chelsea was like, until they like announced that she did great, she was like, whoo, shoo.
You feel like, in hindsight you could tell, but like when you're there, you really haven't looked at the other designs that much, and you're, proud of your thing, but you've seen some weird stuff go down on the runway. Like everybody thought so-and-so was gonna, be on top, and they got sent home.
Right.
So, I mean, you see some crazy stuff happen. It is really, makes you really nervous.
Right.
So you're sitting there waiting for everybody to get their critiques, and you're like, am I on top? Am I on bottom? What's going on? So maybe for Molly it was just...
Tyler like that? He was like pulling his hair out in the back, like, I don't want to go home.
I think he knew. He knew even before the runway, because he was, trying to address the problem of the cleavage in the workroom. Very concerned about it. So of course Tyler didn't go home.
Of course not.
But that was kind of his first little fall from grace, where he had a little.
You need a gut check sometimes.
Yeah.
You need a little 1, 2, boom, boom.
Yeah, and I think Tyler's pretty humble for the most part, but like sometimes it's good to like have a little
opposition
mishap. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was Tyler's. Yeah, you can just, and it's not even
it's
a deep.
Bomb.
It's not even
bomb.
just a deep V. It's just that it's so wide in the front that she's just really out there.
Look at the pants. Look at the hem on the pant.
Yeah.
The pump, and then the hem of the jacket. That is fashion right there.
I just feel like the coat was too plain.
Like, I'm not even looking at the upper part of it.
Just the proportions on the bottom.
Just from our hands down. Like, to me, that's fashion.
Yeah,
like,
that's cool.
That's what I like. I love lines. I love, like, when things sit symmetrically and it's like...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You can see the shoe, you can see the pant, you can see that they're wide leg, you can see that the jacket complements the size of the pants. It's just, I wish the top maybe was more
balanced out the whole look.
Yeah, just balanced it out a little more.
I feel like, I totally get what you're saying, but I feel like because the top is so weirdly cut that the bottom makes her look bigger. I feel like
her waist should have been way more cinched.
Right. And I feel like just there should have been something on the shoulders, even just a lapel or something else on the top to balance out like all that stuff on the bottom.
Right.
I don't know why he was married to this like deep V. That was like the whole thing. This whole look centered around the deep V, and it was just not good.
I could even see that big kind of like some sort of dramatic. If he would have taken some fabric and kind of like draped it out of the front.
Yeah.
Or that scarf sleeve that we were talking about. Just something to bring a little flair to the.
Or just, yeah, some kind of detail. I feel like that there was nothing, there was no trim, there were a lot of seams, but it's all one color jacket, so there's,
and it was like a muslin color, right? It looked like, almost like muslin, like
I feel like it was a little bit silvery gray, kind of, but it was, yeah, it was a very dull kind of color, so maybe if it would have been dark or bright or something else, I would have been more excited. Or if you would have just taken
some black paint and just splashed it on the jacket.
Something, anything. I mean, it's just... It's like he was obsessed with this deep V and couldn't really design it around, you know, any other part of it. So
maybe it's the sewing togetherness too that happened that kind of has us like, this is a lot of coat, because maybe it was designed to open more and show more of the pants as she walked.
I don't even know how this coat opens, because I feel like the front doesn't even have a...
Remember he sewed her in it before.
Yeah, so it doesn't even have a closure. Maybe if the coat would have been just left open over the top, and it would have been more like, okay, I'm a trench coat or something like looser, it would have, I don't know, been more successful.
But it doesn't scream Milan either.
No, not. I didn't think so. But I think Tyler knew this. He just was like, all right, I'm just going to do a good job, whatever. I'm just going to finish it. So, but he's safe, so we're happy.
Right.
And then I believe we have, that was the last one. So Chelsea won, as we mentioned.
Yes.
Cartier ends up going home.
Yeah, when it came down
to Easter Bunny look.
Yeah, when it came down to Cartier and Hawaii, I knew who was going home.
For sure. I don't know why Hawaii was on the bottom, but I mean, they're all getting so good now, I guess. But yeah, so Cardi went home, and I feel like it was kind of overdue. She was just slipping, and she wasn't really showing us anything. It kind of sounds like next week we might have a double elimination. And next week, I believe, is the last challenge before the finale. So we're really getting up. I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 designers left. So yeah, if they cut 2, they'll have 4 for the finale.
Yeah. Oh no.
That's nerve-wracking,
2 have to go.
Who do you think
at this point?
Who do you want to be? So who do you want to be in the finale?
I want to see Chris, Tyler, Hua, and Chelsea Ma.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what I want to see.
Molly, I really like Molly's style. It's kind of that boho, but it's edgy. But she's pretty much just been safe all across the board. I don't feel like anyone's been noticing her.
You know why? Because I think she makes really good things that are current and relevant, but they're current and relevant, and we've seen them.
Right.
So, like for instance, she makes this white outfit, right?
Yeah.
And it's, like, beautiful, and I love it, but it's not super innovative.
Yeah, it's not as creative as some of the others.
It's not as creative. So I think she's really, really good, but she has to bring out her true edge, like,
make it edgier.
Who is she? We need more identity from her.
Yeah, to set her apart. Right. And I like Izzy, but I feel like she's sometimes more all over the place. But I feel like she could be.
Maybe I'll just pick favorites.
Yeah.
I love when Chris does Tim. I think that when Chris's voice drops, he's going to sound like Tim for real. He does it so well. And then when I listen to him talk in the showroom, in the workroom, I'm like, you're going to really turn into Tim.
When Tim retires, then Chris can take over the show.
Right.
And then who would
be grown by
then who would take over Heidi's place?
Oh, man.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either.
Maybe Aaron could be the new Kelly.
Yeah. Aaron would be fun. I wish they would have more of the old PR designers, like, even just guest.
You know what would be a cool
judge.
show? Project Runway, like, pairs. Right, where you come in as like a competition, but it's like one person from juniors and one. Like,
that would
mentor.
be cool.
That would be cool.
I want to see Project Runway seniors, because I feel like they always have, they'll have like the token older person, middle-aged person. they always get voted out right away.
Right.
But I'm like, sometimes like,
I don't think I want to see it. Because you know why, it's gonna be like dressmaking to a T, I think. But you know,
I guess, but
my mentor is in his 50s and he's out of here. Like, he's amazing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't feel like because you're old, you're out of the loop. You may have more experience, and so I feel like that would be interesting. Or we need to see more older people. It doesn't always have to be like super young fresh people. I think it's just like a different point of view. I
want to see like Project Runway intentionally international, where there's like one person from every fashion capital, like one person from New York, one person from Milan, one person from Paris, cool. One person from Nigeria, you know, or like super high fashion places all over the world, and then
that would be really
bring them together and see who rocks it the best.
Yeah, because most of the time it's the United States, all over the U.S., and then once in a while, you know, another country here or there.
Right.
But I mean, I feel like that would be a cool concept.
Cool. A worldly perspective on fashion.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I would like to see them travel more often too.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Like last season they traveled to Florida, okay, whatever, but it's like I feel like it would just be cool to get inspiration from different points of view.
I want them to go to like I would love to see a dress based after like the Grand Canyon.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Could you imagine? Oh.
Yeah, that would be
fly.
That would be rad.
I could see all the textures in the walls and the canyons and how you could bring that into a garment. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm. Right on. So we have our last challenge before the finale next week.
No. Maybe we'll sketch again.
Yeah, we should sketch again. If you guys want to sketch along with us, sketch into the challenge Thursday night and send us your photos via Instagram or Twitter, and we may post them up during the show on Friday. I don't even know what the challenge is. I watched the preview, and it's like just a bunch of drama, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so we will... A bunch
of who doesn't want to go home before the last challenge,
I know,
basically.
that's the worst. Mm-hmm. But let us know your questions, send us your sketches, and we will see you guys next week. I'm your host, Michelle Uberreste, and you can find me on social media at Uberreste on Instagram and Twitter.
Carmen Cameron on Instagram and Facebook.
Right on. We will see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.